Hi, welcome to winemastery.co.uk. My name's John Lightfoot. This is
John Murphy.
And we're going to talk to you about a Malbec, but a very jammy Malbec. It's a Malbec produced by the label Jam Shed. We're actually doing this video because Cricket Forever gave us a comment and said, what's the difference between the Jam Shed Malbec and the Jam Shed Shiraz? Now, we did the Jam Shed, be careful how I say that, about a year ago. In fact, I think it was episode 232. And that was the Shiraz one. And I had to admit to Cricket Forever that I had no idea what the difference would be. And I suspected that even though it's a Malbec, it probably, given Jam Shed is all about the jamminess of the wine, it probably wouldn't taste anything like a typical Malbec. But he asked the question, and so we thought he needs an answer. So we're going to taste a Jam Shed Malbec. Mm-hmm. Okay, so
basically I want to know what the difference is, because I do remember the Jam Shed obviously was massively jammy, if I remember right. The Shiraz, big blackcurrant beast, but really juicy. So getting into this one then.
On the colour,
that's that really deep garnet.
Really
colour.
deep, isn't it? Yeah. There's hardly any light here. It's very dense, which will suggest it's full of body.
Yep.
And you know that makes me imagine it's going to be full of taste.
Mm-hmm. I'm just a bit excited. I don't know why. Right, I'm going to get straight onto the nose here.
Whoa.
It's definitely more.
Now, bearing in mind, this is a £7 bottle. It's not, it's not expensive, so we're taking that into account. But that has got, for a £7 bottle, it's a nice rounded smell, isn't it? There's not sort of too much acidity or tannin coming off.
But for me, it's quite plummy. But you can smell the underlying sweetness there that was with the Jam Shed. Which one was it? The Shiraz. That's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
There's an underlying sweetness that comes through there.
Yes. I'm really, and just looking at sort of the viscosity of it, it's really, you imagine that's going to sort of really be quite sticky when you take a mouthful.
And I'm going to take a mouthful, John.
So am I. Well, it doesn't disappoint. The taste explodes. It's what it says on the tin.
Yep.
It is very jammy.
Yep.
Obviously, probably we'd have to do a back-to-back to compare it to the Shiraz. I don't think it doesn't, from memory, it doesn't come across quite as sweet and sickly as the Shiraz.
Yes, and I think the Shiraz had a lot more blackcurrant in it, where this has got a lot more kind of plum.
Yeah.
Plum, but it has a sweetness there. Which is very unusual because first of all, is the sweetness, then the plummy flavour comes through, but then the tannins follow it nicely. But it's not like a massive tannins like knocking it all out. It actually works very, very well. I think the main difference though is, there is a hint of blackcurrant in there, but the Shiraz was just full on with the blackcurrant. With this,
I am getting, I bet I might be just talking, I might be imagining this, but it's sort of like a cocoa bean roasted.
Well, I think what you're getting there is it's almost a smokiness. I'm finding a little bit of smokiness right on the hint on the end, so it might be there that You're probably right. Tell you what though, for a £7 bottle of wine, it generates some interest there.
Yeah.
This is not something that you would lay. I'm not going to let this lay down. I won't cast this aside just because it's not an expensive wine.
No. Also, I think maybe, obviously a lot of people don't like red wine because of the heavy, what they consider to be the heavy tannins. And so maybe somebody that likes white wine, because it's got a sort of sweetness to it, this might be a nice entry. And something that I only learnt the other day, because as you're joining us on our journey, well, me more so than John, but the other thing I learnt recently is that while some wines you taste on their own, they might not actually, you might not actually like them. They're actually designed to go with food. Some wines are actually designed, in French wines, etc.
Yeah.
Are not actually meant to be just tasted on their own. They are meant to be, and so constructed so you can enjoy certain dishes with them. And I guess that's where the pairing, becomes very, very important. But this I would enjoy on its own. In terms of pairing, what would you suggest with this, John?
You know what? I'm drinking it. I'm thinking to myself, what would I really like? I'm thinking a meaty burger. You know, like I'm not thinking fine dining. I'm not thinking. I think it would go.
Well,
really,
McDonald's, Burger King.
well, not quite McDonald's or Burger King, but
Okay.
a nice chunky with some cheese in there. Yeah.
Cheese and like cucumbers,
Yeah, but
stuff.
big, you know, one of those big fat ones.
relishes. I was thinking of relishes, you know, like
Yes.
sweet corn, sweet relishes, and because this has probably got the sweetness to actually complement that, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Mm.
So, I mean, what cheese would I put it with though? I didn't even think about it. I bet that I'd take on a cheddar still. I'd take on a nice cheddar.
A cheddar still.
Yeah. Well, sometimes the cheddar can be, sometimes the cheddar can be a bit too overpowering, but I reckon that would take it on nicely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you talking, because obviously there's mild, medium, and...
But I with that one, I'd probably get something like Lincolnshire Poacher. Lincolnshire Poacher would suit that perfectly, because it's not all about the bite or the strength with the Lincolnshire Poacher, it's the strength of flavour, and I think Lincolnshire Poacher does that very well. So yeah, that'd be, I reckon that'd be good.
And it's quite quaffable, isn't it? I mean, I seem to recall, I'd have to look back at the episode, but I seem to recall on the Shiraz one, you said, this is really nice, but if I was to drink a bottle of it, by the time I got to the end, I'd probably be feeling, oh, it's a little bit too cloyy. And
It's that sweetness. Sometimes when the wine has that sweetness, sometimes when you get into the end of the bottle, that's all you can really concentrate on. Now I think this escapes that a little bit more so. I'm saying that because
yeah, I'm pretty
so I
empty
think
too.
you know that speaks for itself.
I think you might, yeah. And again, if you were eating with this, that would take away that completely, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
That would take, if you have a little bit of cheese, as you were suggesting, that would take away complete from that. So I guess that brings us to the score. Now this is going to be really difficult for me because I'm really having a problem in terms of working out a score for this one, because I like it, but I won't think of it. It's not very sophisticated in the taste, so you know it's a really nice taste, but there's not lots there to investigate, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So I'm struggling with. This would be, I think, again down to a mood thing, and I think that for me could actually influence the score by about 10 marks.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's.
I know exactly what you mean. Right now, I'm really enjoying that, but I don't want to go too wild on a score because they say it's not overly complicated. It's a fairly simple wine, but it's a good simple wine. You know, we've had wines which have been simple and not that good.
True.
So I'm going to go ahead and I'll throw out the first score, John, and I'm going to say, 'cause at the end of the day, it's a £7 bottle of wine. It's done quite well there. So I'm going to say, without going wild on scoring, but without doing an injustice, I'd say 78 comfortably.
Okay. Well, funny enough, I was going 73, and normally it's me that actually goes above you, but I've gone 73.
That is usually we're quite close, aren't we?
We are, yeah, and I think that's because I recognise that this is a really nice wine. I'm really enjoying it at the moment, and I think I could, at this moment, probably say 78. If I just had a little bit more of a sophisticated wine, the glass before this,
Yes.
then I think the score would tumble.
Yes.
And it's because the wine that we previously had before we had this didn't have anywhere near the body that this has, and therefore it's sort of like influencing that.
Expectations have gone
Yeah.
up, haven't they? You're probably right, John. I've probably been very fairly, and I'm 3 glasses of wine in as well. But no, I'll stick where I am with it for now, because at this moment, that's the mood I'm in, so that's what I would say.
Yeah, that's what you score. So again, and that's recently over the last few months, where we're coming out with completely different scores. There was a time when we were very tight on our scores in terms of both coming out within 1 or 2 points of each other, but for some reason at the moment we're not, which is interesting.
This is why I think we should have a little pad that said before, so we could write my score down before, and then we could do it that way. I think that'd be interesting.
Okay, well we're not cheating in any way. I mean,
No,
I'm not letting you
you
influence me with your score. I've
Okay.
actually got the figure in my head, so yeah. But
Yeah.
I guess for the audience, they don't know that, so yeah, perhaps we should do it for that
I think
reason.
it'd be interesting. We'll try it a couple on one video. See what happens.
See what happens. Okay, fantastic. So the conclusion, I guess, is would you buy another bottle of this?
It's £7. For £7, that would it's still a good all-around wine. So something like that, I think, is probably a must in your wine cabinet. You know, if you've got somebody coming round, perhaps they're not massive fans of wine, but you know they like it a little bit better. I'd definitely buy it again. If it's £7, I'll say that again, £7.
Yeah, exactly. And I think the point you're making there is that you're not buying this wine for yourself, but you're buying it for some friends you know would enjoy it.
Yes.
And that's that. But of course, there'll be you, the viewer, may well enjoy it yourself, and I would buy it for exactly the same reason. There's some friends I know would really, really love this. There's some friends I know that would really, really dislike it. But that's the same with a lot of wines.
Of course it is, yeah.
Absolutely, everything down to your personal taste. Well, fantastic. Well, I really enjoyed that, and thank you very much for Cricket Forever for letting us, giving us that question. It was very interesting. Thanks for taking the time to comment on our video. If you've got any questions, please comment on our video or email us. We'd be delighted to try to please you with a response that hopefully helps you on your wine journey, wherever you may be. So, with that, we wish you, whatever you're doing, we hope it gets better. And until the next time, chin chin.
Chin chin.